Let's go.
We are live. So I love to give people the opportunity to come in and come on. People are getting the kids ready for school. If you're in DCPS, it ain't no school. So I want to give people the opportunity to come on, but I also want to be mindful of my guests and the starting time. So I will do introductions, and then as people come on, they can come in, jump in jump in from where they are, and then go back and watch the replay. So we are live with the Speak Well podcast. And I have not just guests, not just my co-hosts, not just my friends, not just my sisters, but I have my comrades. And it is so important to have comrades with you. Comrades are those that's going to be in the trenches with you, right, wrong, or indifferent. And I am so grateful that that is what I have with me on tonight. So with that being said, I want to introduce you to Jasmine. Jasmine is my little big sister. She's my little sister in age, but when I say my big sister, she is so she's well-rounded. She has an old soul, raised by a mom and a dynamic grandmother. So a lot of topics I can, bounce off of her. I can talk to her about. We gel really well. She's a safe space for me. There have been times that I didn't know if I was going or if I was coming, literally. And Jasmine would just hold the phone. Jasmine is also the person that I can call when things need to get a little shaken up, because she gonna ride with me when the things start shaking up, and she gonna ride with me if I stand down. But that's a friend, that's a sister. And I'm so grateful to have her in my life. Jasmine came from a place, you know what, as a matter of fact, both of my friends came from a place that they should not have made it out of. And that's the common denominator among all three of us. Jasmine came out of a community that they say nothing good comes out of. And let me just be honest, when you kind of look back at that community, people are still trying to fight their way up. Jasmine has she has a senior daughter that has done so many great things that has surpassed her. But that is the idea. The Bible says that your children should do greater than you. And we're so proud of Kennedy. And then I have my sister, so fine. Her name is exactly is. Her, me and Sophia have shared a bed. We have shared a couch because there was a season in our lives where things just was not right. But what we knew was that you ain't gonna be homeless and you ain't gonna be hungry. Them are the kind of friends that you need, that's gonna say, if you gotta lay on the floor, then guess what? I'm gonna lay on the floor with you. So Fine is known for, if you Google her, you will find out that she had the very first consignment shop in Ward 8. I hang out with the girls who are the first to do what they do. So I can bring all of my girls. I can close my eyes, spin around, point at any one of them, and I can say, tell your story. Who are you? What are you known for? So I'm just grateful to just have them on my platform. If you look on the flyer, if you had the flyer tonight's, and ladies, you know what I want you to do? Let me pause for a minute. Make sure you share. I don't know if you want to take a picture of the screen, because I absolutely want your followers and your viewers to hear from you. They don't need to hear from me. They can always go back and hear from me, but your stories are important. There's so many facets to who you are, what you do, the impact that you've made in your communities. Jasmine loves working with women who are of the underserved population. That is her call. So Fine also likes to work with women who are a part of an underserved population. That is her call. And what I love about them is that they don't fight about that, right? If God gives them something to do, they're going to do it. If God asks them to sweep or mop, they're going to sweep or mop. If God asks them to sit among the best of those, they'll sit with the best of those. And so there's no thing where they're like, they're too good to do this or they're too good to do that. But that's why they're so blessed, because they greet the janitor the same way they greet the CEO. So tonight's show is called is tonight's show is the girl's power in relationships. I want to open that up by saying a few days ago, I posted a clip. It was like a very short clip, and I'm paraphrasing. Go back to the King's Misses and watch it. But I said the same qualities that draw people to you are the very same qualities that will make people hate you, be jealous of you, and be envious of you. And I was riding in the car and I was thinking about that, because how I started to see it was that's happening in every lane of some people's lives. Your employer, your friends, the opposite sex relationships. You met me at hello, right? You met the best version of me. But when you started seeing me getting better, now you're acting a fool. Now we have all this friction. And I want to say this before I open up the floor for them. I know a lot of women in business. I know a lot of men in business. I know a lot of people in power. And I know a lot of people in charge. I pray to God that none of you are the people that are causing people problems on a job, in a relationship. I pray to God that you ain't the person that have seen your friend struggle from A to B. Now she's at Z and she's killing every single thing. She's knocking down every brick that's been thrown at her to build something, and you're mad. Because we got to hold people accountable, and that's the one thing we don't do. In friendships, I'm gonna hold you accountable, because I'm gonna ask you, what are you doing? I thought you liked her. Now because she degreed up and ringed up and engaged up and studied up, what's wrong? But that's what we got to do as women and men. You really got to check people, because if somebody don't check them, then they become a cancer in the next portion of whatever they got to do, and somebody will continue to they'll continue with promotion after promotion. Now you are at an executive level and you're acting fool. And you're a Black woman at an executive level. You're able to call the shots. You're able to make decisions. And this young lady, old lady, male or female, walk in the door in a pink sweater. You want, first of all, she got body for days that she can't even cover up, because she's just shaped like that. Beautiful personality, and you acting like a fool. We gotta start holding people accountable who are like that. So with that being said, I'm done with that. But I just wanted that to be a segue into tonight's show, and you can expound on that, or you can go straight into what does the girl's power in relationship mean to you, and we just gonna dialogue as if it's just us. While you all talk, I'm gonna pull some other people in. And y'all can, and I don't care who go first, because
okay. Come on, Jasmine.
So, power in relationships for me looks like knowing when to get up, when to walk away, knowing what you brought to the table, and that it's okay when you leave the table. For me, I've been in a lot of relationships, romantic and friendships, where I just didn't know sometimes when to leave. And then I've been in relationships when I left gracefully. And that's power. Knowing when to leave gracefully without hooping, hollering, cussing, fussing, because no response is a response. So that's still power. Just knowing who you are and what you bring.
Yeah. That's good, Jasmine. Knowing when to leave, knowing how long to stay, that is absolute. I don't know what's bigger than that, though. Because here's the thing. Sometimes we've stayed too long.
Mm-hmm.
You know good and well you were supposed to punch the clock on that job, gave it 2 weeks notice, left that man, left that girl, left that good girlfriend. You knew that something about them was not right, but you stayed because you're loyal too. So I found out that the people that get the people that get the energy of I liked you then, but I don't like you now. Most of them people are very loyal. So they stay saying, oh, they'll get it together. Oh, they'll change. Oh, they just having a bad day. And a bad day.
That's just how they are. That's just
a bad day turned into a century.
Lord.
And for me, I'm the type that I feel like I can change everybody. So because I feel like I can change people or I can sit and wait for them to change, I do stay longer than what I should. But even when I found my power in myself, I learned when to get up. I learned when to quit a job. My friends laugh at me now because they be like, you gonna quit. And I got that from you. I learned that from you. I learned that from you. And now it's like, you look at me wrong, I'll quit. You talk to me crazy, I'll quit. Like, I'm quitting. I'm not sitting or staying nowhere where I'm uncomfortable. I don't like it. I feel like I'm not being treated well. I'm leaving. And that's relationship, job, that's wherever.
What about you, Sunshine?
Child, you know how I feel about it. I will stop talking to my mama if she grieves me. I don't know what happened. You know me. I've been one of those people that's like, for years, that's just how it is. It's okay. And then let me let people know, don't let people mingle the grace of God into stuff. People, once they know you love Jesus, especially if you hold some sort of position in the church, they'll try to put that thing up in there and make it be a whole thing. This ain't got nothing to do with the Lord. I got enough wisdom on my own to say, this is not good. This don't feel good. This don't look good. It's not good for you. It's not good for me. And so if the Lord want to deal with me on letting you go, fine, well and good. But I got enough wisdom right now to say that this isn't good. Funny thing is, I want to say Sunday before last, my pastor had preached an unpopular message by most people. It was necessary endings. And he gave scripture for it. He was like, some stuff gotta come to an end. It has to come to an end. But we think that we more holy, or we're more closer to God, or we're just having this out-of-body Holy Spirit experience because we holding on to folks that the Lord ain't even tell us to get connected to with in the first place. Like, you got to take accountability for that, because as a divorced woman, and even before getting a divorce, being with a gentleman for almost 20 years, and being in marriage and everything, when I got out of that, when I was on the other side of that, I had to just tell people, because people was like, I thought the Lord told. I said, I ain't never told you the Lord told me marry nobody. That's not what I said. But that right there, that's the perception that people has. Like, if you stay and you somebody that has like ministry connection, you love the Lord, you displayed that part of your life, then obviously you staying because you love God. No, girl, I was staying because I was simple. I stayed simply because I was simple, and that was it. And until I began to figure out the power in my relationship with my own self, I allowed people to do me any kind of way under the guise of, it's okay, the Lord, the Lord deal with it. Nah. He didn't cause us to be doormats and we just need to do stuff because you a deaconess in the church, or because you a minister, or because you go to church every single Sunday. That's not what he called us to. There is grace in leaving. There's a grace on goodbye.
I remember telling Bishop a long time ago, and he laughed because he had never heard it before. And I remember saying, I have an anointing to say goodbye. I'm not talking about if it's time for me to leave or if somebody left me. Please do me a favor and leave.
Yeah.
Because if you know I am, some of us just don't have a large bandwidth. And I don't have a large bandwidth. I never for stupidity. And again, if I stayed, it was because I loved you and I thought you loved me. I thought we had a real bond or real sisterhood, and so I made excuses for staying so long. And every time you did something stupid and or shady, I made an excuse. Every time you go somewhere or out of town, I made an excuse as to why y'all won't take my pictures, because that's a big deal too. That's a big deal too. That is a big deal too when you're with the girls and the girls don't even take your picture, or they took your picture and didn't take it right.
Let's be real clear. A lot of us are in relationships with people that don't like us because it just looks good. We are in relationships with girls. We going on girls' trips. We getting together because all of us got degrees and all of us have reached a certain status quo. So it just makes sense for us to lock arms. We're in relationships with men that ain't never been good. We knew they wasn't good when we got into it. We knew they wasn't good when we was sleeping with them. We knew that wasn't good when we was having kids with them. We just knew. We knew. But it looks good. And we realized on the other side of it that, dang, they got more out of this than what I got. This for them. This ain't even for me. Because I can go do this with a group of people who really like me. I'm not talking about love me. I get it. Everybody want to do, oh, I love. Okay, good. It's a thing. Yeah. But I'm talking about people who like me. Mm-hmm. When I show up, you actually like me.
Yes. You like
that's the thing.
Supporting me, yeah.
Like out with me. You like that. Like, you know, I'm a vibe because you're a vibe. And even if you the laid back vibe, you get a kick out of just being around me. Yeah. You said something so fine that was so key. And I may have threw it out there the other day. People are fascinated with even your dreams of who you're going to be.
Oh yeah.
People are fascinated and in love with your future. They don't have no desire to chip in. They have no desire to push you. They just know and can sense you are about to tap into something and touch something that's so big. And if they can just stay connected to you a little bit, it makes them look big also.
Yeah.
It makes that we've made people's stocks go up. If you could mention my name, you get in the room. If you could mention my name, you get the thing done.
Yeah.
You can just say, oh, I know you. Oh, I know. I mean, here's the thing. If you're my friend, mention my name.
Correct.
I had people to do that had no good intent. I'm only mentioning your name. Because, see, you have this. You also have this whole, they use it in jail a lot. Oh, you like to cut in. I'm gonna tell you about the person that like to cut in. To cut in. You made it to the circle by the skin of your teeth, but now that you've made it to the circle by the skin of your teeth, and one of us invited you, you done went over to the side and then took all. Now you friends with all the so fine friends. And here's the thing: everybody know men so fine like this, but can none of them other? And there's nothing wrong with it. But sometimes it can be. None of them ladies can come to So Fine and say, oh, we had this event and we invited. None of them can say that because know why? I had the privilege of meeting you all through my girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that would be like me cutting in. So Fine introduced me to a lady that I don't know, sells hair. So I'm gonna cut through So Fine to go to the lady. No, I'm gonna go to So Fine. So Fine has done that. You tell me who you think can do X, Y, Z, and I'll refer. But that's what the women do. Yeah, right? That's what we do because it's like, let me go to you because I know you done vetted this person. Let me go to Jazz because I know Jazz done vetted it. Jazz know all about it. And if I go and do business or partnerships with this person that don't work, that's my fault because you would have told me. I invited you to an event with her. I ain't tell you do business with her.
We've had those chats. Why did I say you? You said, girl, ain't nobody tell you to do business with her. I said, now wait a minute.
And we
even in that, like you gotta have power and knowing how to maneuver and work a room and be connected without wanting to get another connection. Just be there. Just enjoy the space. It's okay. Some people are in the room.
To the same table.
That's right. That's it. And there are places, you know how if you ever been to like a really exclusive restaurant, they'll take you in. Dallas has a place, it's a very, very secret place. You can come in the door. All of us will come in the same door together. But if you look up, we still walking past tables to get to the exclusive, to the back. Like I can get you in the door. That was my point. Get you in the door, but you can't come to the back.
You can't come.
The point was never for you to get to the back, because I don't know how you gonna act back here. And that's not hating. That's not because people be, oh, you hating, because no, because the back is where I'm at. The back is where my people are. There is power in my protecting that. It's power in me protecting those relationships, because people will come to the back that was never supposed to be in the back. They were just supposed to be in the room. But you done got them mingled. Y'all on vacation together, and then something blows up. Y'all know we see it on TikTok all the time. People doing business together. Maybe they making millions, and about 6 months later, somebody that wasn't even supposed to be in the room in the first place and spill all the tea.
Or they went on a girl trip and the girl dead. Why? How did all these, I'm telling you.
They ain't like her before she left.
Invited the girl on the trip. The girl ain't make it back home. But these are real things. That's why I'm like, I think Sophia told this story. There are some things in me, well, both of you, there are some things in me that both of you just really trust. And one thing that's the word. That's if I say a thing, and vice versa, right? So she's always been a woman of God. And so when you are a woman of God, being in your place is good for you. Being out of place and not in church, you're kind of like, oh, I don't know. I got to come with.
Yeah.
My father said, I need a church. Now, mind you, this is in a season where it's so fine, and I would say could have been one of the lowest parts of her life for her. What she was saying to me was, I know how this works, but you got a longer reach than me. Where should I go? Where should I be connected?
Yeah.
I didn't respond to Sophia immediately, because I knew wherever I sent my friend, her soul was going to be in their hands.
Yeah.
So I knew, I didn't even say the Temple of Praise.
Did not.
I knew that when she asked me, it was a matter of life or death. I knew that wherever I sent her or whatever I suggested, she was going to go. So I needed to sit down and be quiet and say, God, my friend is coming to me for help. Help me help her. And where I sent her, she did well there. She thrived. She stayed during the season she was supposed to stay, and she did good work. And that undeniably.
Yep.
Right? So my thing is, she started over. It was a foundation. She met women. She met friends. But what if I would have sent her down a tunnel? Oh, wait a minute. Thank you, Holy Spirit, because I already told y'all this is not a Christian-based platform, but God will be mentioned and glorified. Jasmine did the same thing.
Yeah.
I took Jasmine to an event in Baltimore. That became her church in Baltimore. She lives in the city.
Yeah.
But she would drive to Baltimore. But just imagine what. And so I'm saying the girl's power in relationships. Sometimes you got to know the strength that you have, and you got to know the strength that your friends have, because some people will set you up in a minute and will look. And once you realize you've been set up and bamboozled, they will look at you and say, ability or nothing. And so that is what a friendship is about. That is what power is about, knowing, well, what college should I send? You asking me? Guess what? I got to sit and meditate and think about that.
Yeah.
I met this guy, but that's the friend that I am now. If we don't have that kind of connection, I'm gonna say, man, I don't know why you asking me. Because I will tell you, I don't know why you asking me. Because I don't want to be involved. You know why I don't want to be involved? Because I know that you hard-headed anyway, sis. I know that you don't listen anyway. So wherever you choose to go there.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get a recommendation from me, because my words are so weighty. My words are so powerful that you're going to take them. You're going to go, but you're going to be the same one going to come back to me. So I'm not getting involved. But I just appreciate being around women and men who know the power that they possess, the influence that they possess. They're loyal to different things and different people. But when you start dipping and dabbing and everything, and you're all over the place, and I have women that say all the time, you inspire me. You know what? Because and here's the thing, and I'm gonna say this, and I ain't even being funny. Well, maybe I am. But I've heard women say, you inspire me. But I've looked at your life and I look at your current life, and I really want to say, you cannot have been inspired by me. Because the way that this is going, you better not tell nobody outside of me that I inspired you, because the route you're taking, the skates you're skating, you didn't know, no ma'am. Because guess what? My name, all I got, is worth more than money. So you're walking around the city through and through, to and fro, back and forth, telling people, oh, you inspire me. Inspire or inspired. Don't say either E or ED. Because no, because I'm not claiming that. Because when somebody inspires you, they become a model for you.
Yeah.
Don't tell nobody that, girl.
Yeah.
Boy, don't tell nobody, oh, I'm doing well because of you. Then you have the people that I can look at their life and see how you were inspired.
Yeah.
I look when I went to school and see, I always give grace. But there are people who, because you got to be careful with that too. When they come and say, I know you, or I know her, you don't. You follow my page. You don't know me. Because if you knew me, that shit you posting, you wouldn't have posted, because I would have said, what are you doing? If you knew me. If you knew me. Because I'm going to hold you accountable every single time. Men, women, people who I know who talk to me.
Yeah.
No, come on, we're not doing this. The reason why we're not doing this, because it makes you look bad and it makes me look bad. We're not going to do that. But you got to be careful with the people who even say you inspire them, because again, here we go. You just want to be able to mention my name. I blaze the trail so much that you just want to be able to mention my name. You cannot.
Yeah.
You cannot.
I'm telling you.
You were inspired by somebody else. Maybe the girls on Zeus Network. You wasn't inspired by me. The girls on the Zeus, they fight, they hoops hot. You was not inspired by me, because that's all I see you doing. You're jealous, you're mean, you're nasty, you're not a good friend. You're not a good leader. You don't lead well. You don't lead from the front. Everything about you is horrible. Your personality, you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, depending on who you're around. No, I haven't inspired you. I haven't.
Yeah.
And so that is where I stand with a lot of things. And so I'm intentional about who my friends are, who I'm gonna sit with, who I'm gonna hang out with. I'm intentional about that, because I don't want people seeing me with just anybody. Because again, we are in the age of cell phone, social media. Don't post me with them. Even if I'm with people that I barely know and they get to put don't, because it's giving celebrity. Don't pull out your phone with me. I don't know where these pictures are going, because 30 days from now, I will have found out that you was really a hater. And then you've used that same picture in a group thread. This is her.
Yeah.
No, don't take no pictures of me that I don't know about. So we really got to be careful of how relationships should look different now.
Yes.
We've seen what girlfriends will do. They leave you stranded, leave you for dead, going to you just don't know who people are. So we just really we have to pay more attention to the people that we pull into our space, because we're not just anybody. And there's power in knowing who you are and who you are not.
And at this season, at 40, because I done turned 40, child. At 40, I don't want no girlfriends that ain't got great.
Years.
Huh? Say what?
Sofia has been wanting to turn 40 for 10 years. She has been talking about 40 for 10. I'm so glad that God let her see 40. God knows. Because I got tired of hearing.
But at 40, like, I don't want no girlfriends that don't got grace.
Oh, no.
I've noticed everybody throwing everybody away now. Everybody throwing everybody away now. 1 minute y'all friends, and y'all riding. It ain't no way we done split sandwiches and we done laid on the same couch and we ain't gonna be friends the rest of our lives. Like y'all, everybody is so disposable.
Mm-mm. But how much grace?
Everything. It be like, I mean, so much to the point, even when I started back dating after divorce, I had to have that talk with my now fiance, and I was like, it's like, what you got going on? Because I don't need to say something wrong. I don't need to show up away, and you're a little mad that day. I might be a little razzled, and then I look up, I'm in love, and I'm back on the streets because you decide and you don't. But like, when did we get to a place, or is it just the new generation? Is it I don't know if it's a DC thing. I don't know. Everybody is so disposable now. You will see people, I mean, that be rocking, them rocking, and then the next day, you like, girl, and let me tell y'all, it's okay to leave graciously. It's okay to go in grace. Leave the job well without talking about the people and telling everybody where the bones are buried. Leave a relationship without telling everybody what that happened. Leave the friendship without telling all your old good girlfriends' business. Like, we get it. It's over. But we ain't even integral no more. Girl, it make you scared to tell folks stuff. And now, let me tell you, call me shady if you want to. When I get new friends, I tell them something that I know I'm only going to tell them just to see if I'm ahead. Because I got to gauge this now. Nobody's showing up authentically no more. So I got to play games that you shouldn't even have to play at 40 because I want to make sure like we all right for real. So I'm going to tell you something that I know if I hear it again, it then came from you. Just in case, I need to put you on the back burner.
Just in case.
Just in case. Everybody I'm telling you, we didn't cancel culture. We didn't cancel Christ. We didn't cancel the clothing store. We can't buy Kanye stuff no more. Like, everything's just bad. Somebody gonna tell me the other day, oh, you still wearing Balenciaga? Absolutely, it's my favorite brand.
And I paid for it.
I don't know them people. I don't know what they said. I don't know what they did. I don't even know you. You trying to tell me about these people support? Like, I don't even know you. I don't even know you. That's number one. And number two, you ain't gonna give me no advice and you don't never look good. You ain't about to tell me about to throw some shoes away. And you ain't never shown up to nothing looking good.
I'm second guessing people that show up looking raggedy. Because here's the thing I posted. You got 2 times to come around me looking bad. It ain't on a sir to you running errands. You just looking bad. You just thrown together. I'm not going nowhere with you. I'm not going nowhere with you because I don't want to be seen. But Jasmine, you was getting ready to say something about, you said how much grace.
I didn't tell my new friends everything. I'm piggybacking off of what she said, but I think because I feel like in this season, I know. I don't have a doubt in my mind. I know because of how they have shown up for me, how they have called when I have disappeared, and almost as if God has sent them. Times when I didn't have it, and they just sent a random cash out, or I just know, like, it's not a doubt in my mind that we aren't all aligned, and like this is my group. This is my girls. They rocking, they rolling, they showing up, they showing out, they supporting. I was just looking at one of my girlfriend's pages the other day, and I was like, from my boutique, I said 90% of her closet is the curvy icon. And she has paid for it. Like, she doesn't ask for anything for free. Even when I had a difficult time with accepting money from her, because I'm like, ugh, girl. And she was like, baby, friendship don't pay bills. You better take this money.
That's a good friend.
And it's like, but I don't want to charge you full price. And she'd be like, Jazz, charge me. And it's like, so I'm to the point now where I'm like, I feel safe. The safest I have.
That's good.
Word. Yeah, that's a good word.
And I think like
I really feel safe.
Yeah, that's good. And I
I do. Yeah, I know. I just feel so safe. Safe to be vulnerable. Safe to leave the table, and I'm not the appetizer. Safe to tell stuff that I'm going through or that I have experienced in the past that I didn't even tell anybody else because I know I'll never hear it again, or I know it'll never be, girl, between me and you. Those type of, anytime somebody say between me and you
already know it's not.
Just know all your business is somewhere else between them and somebody else.
and then it'd be
That's
like,
good.
you stand between me and you. I don't even talk to nobody that know you.
Because be clear,
So
I'm your only
it's
friend.
definitely already between me and you.
Yeah, some
Because
friends
nobody
you gotta
checking.
tell them, like, you know, I'm your only friend. Because everything that you tell is between me and you. Like, that's it. I'm glad that you used the word safe because I know you and I had this struggle early on. She be like, girl, stop telling people stuff. Stop telling people stuff. I think I was overly safe. Oh, everybody, how you say for everybody, sis? Everybody say. And I learned, even in the midst of like going through the divorce process and leaving DC and coming to Dallas, I heard so much of my business. I ain't calling, ask nobody why they say it. I didn't call and cuss folk out. I didn't call irate. I just made a mental note, like, okay, okay. How do y'all navigate those situations where you have deemed somebody as safe and it turns out they're not? They're not safe.
I just left gracefully.
For me, the older I get, I really handle a lot of things differently. So at the age of 45, I really let me say this.
You old, girl.
Good and old. And I'm getting ready to make my appointment to get my eye fillers. At the age of 45, and after losing within 2 years, Uncle Anthony, AJ, Besame, James, and Grandma, that's 5 people. I have decided.
And Draco.
Oh, Lord, don't forget Draco's son. Oh, nephew, Lord Jesus.
A couple weeks ago, I've just decided I'm not going back and I'm not going forth with nobody. I am going to, because here's the thing, I'm going to fight for the people because you got to have discernment also. So there's people that are in your life that just been in your life. Sofine lives in Texas. I might talk to Sofine every now and then. We'll be talking often now because we're working on some of the same things collaboratively. But I didn't have a question. She upped it. They ain't my friend. Even allow your friends to make decisions that are good for them. In some seasons, they may not want to consult with you. But you trust that your friends know what they're doing. Because even when Sofine got in the car, I didn't know she was getting in the car to go. You know what I had to do? I had to trust that my friend, we didn't stop being friends. I had to trust that my friend knew what was good for her. I knew that she had been going through a lot. I knew that she was trying to, and she couldn't, you try to plant your feet somewhere, but when you plant your feet, your mind got to be too. So I knew. So it was like when she packed, we didn't stop being friends. I might have called and said, girl, because guess what? I got the right to say, girl, why would you leave it and tell me? I have that right to say that because she's
as a friend, you do.
But it wasn't like, I'm a cutter. I didn't do that because here's what I knew. Sofine knows the same God that I know, and we've seen how God, that's a whole nother podcast. We've seen how God have just stopped everything to work something out for us. And we've seen that. So if she's saying I'm supposed to get up and go, that's biblical. That's in the Bible. There are people that had to get up and go. Leave your mother and your father. Leave everybody. We have multiple scriptures to speak about that. So it wasn't that she did something, but I trusted her process. Even your friends, you got to trust their process. So now the people I have in my life now are here. They're with me. I don't got to worry about, because the older you get, people begin to grow old with you.
Yeah.
Who's in your 30s, I'm teaching my daughter, girl, all of these friends, but I just got to let her find out, right? But when they find out, they find out. But the people who are with me now, I know they're with me. And I'll tell you how I know. Because God did the marriage. God married us together with the Sofines, the Jasmine. Even, they say don't be friends with your coworkers. I disagree with that because I have some friends that, guess what? we here, right?
Yeah.
And I believe that in this season, hey Tashi, I believe in this season that God is sending us people who we can collaborate with and partner with, make some
Yeah.
money with, make some
Yeah.
memories with, go on
Yeah.
trips with. That's what God is sending people. I've made so many friends. I've never met Tashi in person, but I've met so many friends here who have pushed me, who are inspired. And let me tell you something, Tashi is also like a sister, because Jasmine gonna say, girl, I was talking to Tashi, and she said that you can't. But Tashi knows me through Jasmine. But guess what? Tashi also has a level of respect for me and vice versa. So here's the thing. Who God put in our lives right now, they're here. Now, I'm not
Yeah.
saying that
I agree.
people ain't going to sneak in, but what we will know is that you snuck in.
Ooh, you ain't
What?
sneaking in without us knowing you to snuck in.
No. They going to sneak in. They're going to
Yeah,
sneak in.
you're not sneaking in without us knowing you done snuck in.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know who invited you, but I know that you're here. But just know the same door you walked in, you are about, you gonna walk right.
Behave yourself.
Come in and sit down.
Govern yourself accordingly.
Come in and sit down. So we know, so here's the thing. Whether they're coming in and trying to get some tea, whether they're coming in to get a free consultation from Jazz, a free pair of earrings, a free vintage, whatever you coming in for, you trying to get your loved one buried for free. But here's the thing that you must learn about us. We do nothing for free. And once you slide your price list across the table, they're going to sneak right back out the same door that they came in. See, here's the thing. We're going to set the table with these people early.
Yeah.
People who sneak in, you don't have no structure anyway. People who sneak in, you don't have no sense anyway. People who sneak in, you're disobedient anyway. People who sneak in, you ain't got no. So I'm going to set the stage for what you're going to get over here and the cost of it. I bet you leave. I bet you leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't have no friends. I just want to get stuff for free from. Not a person. And me and you have done business together. I've never just been like, can you just there has never been a time where that has been the expectation for either of us. Never. Not a discount, not a let me just get it. Not, I mean, now let me tell you, because you can do this as well. You got to discern your friends. You got to know who they are, because you can't be bartering with friends that ain't got nothing. Don't be letting people tell you that we're going to exchange services. You don't have a service.
No.
You don't have a product.
Service. Or
you don't have anything. So, and I want you to get to where you got something if that's what you're trying to do. But in this season, like it's cost too much. We know personal things about each other. Like it's cost too much for it to be free. And the Bible says that a man is worthy of his hire. Like I'm not even asking you to do nothing that ain't biblical, because you know the saints will try to put the Bible in it. They will try to Bible you. I don't want nothing. And I tell people, I don't want nothing for free. I don't want a thing for free.
Me neither.
They don't have a thing to exchange. Y'all, you don't need anything of value. Because see, everything you're selling is a value. The fact that I picked it out, I presented it, and I made it a product, and I packaged it that way and put my name on it, it's value. My name is on it. You don't have anything to exchange.
And people that have value and no value, they don't ask for nothing for free, because they know that there's currency in connection. There's currency in collaboration. There's currency in partnership. So while I may not get it in money, sis, come to the table offering something. If you ain't got no service and you good on the administrative side and you my friend, do some administrative work, send some emails. But it's like everybody wants to come in now because we're in this hot pocket season. Well, baby, we ain't ate hot pockets in years. The Lord then delivered us some quick meals. Don't come in trying to get something quick that it took us a lifetime to get. It took us some blood. It took us some sweat, some tears, some crying, some lonely nights, some disconnections. And now you want to come in and you want something for free, or you want to be on the scene. Honey, this scene costs. And as my friend, you shouldn't even want to put me in a predicament of having to tell you I got a cost associated with this. You shouldn't even make me want to be uncomfortable having an uncomfortable conversation with you. Somebody said to me one day, well, why didn't, if you knew that's what it was, I asked a friend about something and she didn't tell the truth. And later on, I brought it up and I said, well, when I asked you this, you said, no, that wasn't what it was, but I saw it was. And she said, well, why you just ain't point that out? I said, why you just ain't going to be a friend that tell the truth? Why you want to put me in a uncomfortable position like I'm Netlock or a private eye? I asked you a question. We're not doing that in relationships with people. Yeah. We not playing riddles. Like, I can't stress this enough. We are overcomplicating relationships and friendships and business-ships. It doesn't take all of that. You just said, hey, I called her and said, girl, why you ain't tell me? That was the end of it. I ain't heard her nothing else. We got friends in the same proximity. Ain't nobody called me and said she said anything because she had enough sense to know if this girl done left, then this is what it is. So it's like she said, and it's like Jasmine said, let people go through their process. In my process, I was too scared to tell people because I knew if the wrong voice told me to stay, I would miss what I'm sitting in right now. People whose voices I value, who I value their voices. If they had said one thing that would have caused me to stay, I would have missed the promise and the timing of that promise. Not because they're not my friends, but because in this season, I can't hear voices. You're a voice, and your voice happens to be louder than the voice of God because I can tangibly feel you. You're in my presence. So it outweighs something that it was never supposed to take precedence over. But when that stuff happens, it's like, oh, they betrayed me. We ain't friends no more. How you go get married and didn't tell nobody? You get on a plane and you go. People's like, well, what you gonna do when you get married? I said, I'm gonna go mind my business. Well, what y'all gonna do? I said, I haven't decided. And I don't gotta tell you, and you still my friend. And we still good, unless you want it to be something else. Like, take these restrictions off of folk. Let folk be your friend in peace. Because you grieving us. We about to not want to be your friend. But that's even no risk.
But that's what friend. But that, see, that is the makeup of a friendship. A friendship is not just let's go out to eat, let's go shop, let's talk. A friendship is also trusting. A friendship is also saying, like Jasmine have been in situations in her life, and so have I. Been in situations in her life. She's like, what you think about this? And she can very well at that moment want to lean towards doing a thing that she think might right. And I'm gonna say, but because she want to do it, but because it's you gotta be trusting, right? You gotta be, because sometimes you may be at a point where you don't even know should you or you shouldn't. Because God hadn't said nothing. So now what you need is a trusted voice, because I don't know. I'm at a crossroad. So I don't know. But what I know is, you know, we have these stories that can make for a really good motion film, because the things that we've said, I would love to have a podcast where we just talk about the beginning. I don't gotta tell you the end because I don't know it. But if we just talk about the beginning, then all of the things that attracted you to me, you may not even be attracted anymore. If we talk about the beginning. Because let me tell you something. That beginning wasn't no joke. And as girls, and I can speak very transparently on this platform, and I can speak for all three of us, is that, and you all would understand this when I say this, we come from the same kind of household of mothers. I want to talk about the beginning. We can have a conversation about the beginning, because now you're looking at the middle. This is the dash. Now you're in the dash and you're trying to figure out, Jasmine got a brand, Sofan got a brand, Ukia got a brand. Who did you think we were going to become? Our mothers? What did you think we were going to be? Like our fathers? Who did you think we would be like our communities? Yeah, you know what? The answer to that, yes, y'all did.
Yeah. And it's okay.
And
But let me say this to that, because I've always knew that it was something inside of me, but I didn't find that power until I experienced loss. And that woke up the power. Like those around me, especially you, way back would always say, like, I'm betting on you. I see something in you. But I didn't see it. I knew I wasn't going to become my mother, but I never seen like this.
Yeah.
Even speaking on a platform or even speaking publicly. Like when I go back and I think of all the times that I do podcasts and speaking events and just actually talking. I grew up where I was told that I was shy. So that's who I became. I really thought that I was shy. And now when I'd be like, I ain't never been shy. I wasn't confident. But because we don't know, we misuse words and we misuse information and we do it so ignorant and arrogant. It's like, oh, you shy. So my mother was telling me I was something before I even knew who I really was. I'm not shy. I've always had something to say. But the title silenced me. But I knew I wasn't going to be my mother. But if you would have told me that I would have been a mover and a shaker, a mouthpiece, I would have been like, yeah, no, not me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm scared of my own shadow. Me?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I don't know why it's like everybody around you can always see it. Because I can remember you like years ago and you would be like, yeah, I'm putting my money on you. And I used to be like, who? To do what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, all I do is dress cute.
Mm-hmm.
That was really all I thought that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Was
Damn.
I just thought I dressed cute. Like, what is it that you see that? But yeah, no.
And sometimes this is what we find. That is when a friendship begins. Whether you call it a friendship, a mentorship, an advisor, that is when it begins. When you can look at somebody and they're in a place of, girl, I don't even know who I'm gonna become, and you can speak to the thing. You can pull out in them what they don't even see. That's when you begin to. That's when you know. And I probably was saying that to you when I was still trying to figure life out myself. But see, God doesn't care what state we're in mentally. If he wants you to get it done, you're going to get it done one way or another. He doesn't care. I'm so glad that he ain't like people though. What we are today, he knew it. You being at the bottom was a good place for me.
Oh, the best place.
Being at the bottom was a good place for me. I said that I was going to talk about this on tonight, and I'm just going to mention it because I think it is important. It is imperative that I give some kind of testimony every now and then because it brings people back into perspective. Because a lot of times people will look at who you are, what you do, how you do it. But we also got to get to the place where we teach people how to treat us. Yeah. Both of you know, because I'll tell the story over and over and over again because it's my story. There are people that have made millions of dollars off of telling the same story. Tyler Perry, it's just dressed up different. It's the same story. I'm going to be telling the same story. When I was living in Country Inn and Suites off Central Avenue, that's a hotel. It's still there. If you ride down Central Avenue, you'll see it. When I was living in that hotel, there was this guy. He was Asian and he was young. He worked the night shift.
And he left the kitchen open.
I was so lonely living in that hotel. My son was with his dad. I didn't have a Zuri, but if you've ever been homeless And if you've ever been homeless by yourself, that's lonely because nobody's there. Nobody's there to talk to you. Nobody's there. So he worked the night shift. And when his shift would start, I would just come downstairs just to sit because I was so lonely. Because here's the power that I knew I had too. Loneliness can take you into a place that you can't come back from. Loneliness will have you depressed. Loneliness will have you suicidal. I'm not going down none of those roads. So I had to yank myself up each time and get around another voice, another something, or else it would just be it for me. He would come to work. I would go sit downstairs in the lobby, watch people come in and out. We'll be talking about music. I haven't seen this guy since I left the hotel, and I think he served his purpose in the story of my book, the story of my life. Mm-hmm. He said to me, we would just sit and talk, and I went up to my room. I was in my room one day because this day I don't think I seen him, but he called up to the room and he said, hey, I can't even think of the guy's name, but this is why the Bible says, be careful how you entertain. Be careful how you treat strangers. You can be entertaining an angel. The Bible says that. Be careful how you treat strangers. You can be entertaining an angel. Well, what he didn't know was I was a stranger, but I also was the angel. He called upstairs to that room and told me one night, he said, hey, I'm about to get off. I'm leaving early this shift or something. Somebody else is about to come in. But I just want you to know, and nobody else knows this, but I want you to know that I left the kitchen open and the refrigerator unlocked in case you get hungry. The same way, Jasmine, how you just said that I bet it all on you, that man betted his job on me because he did not know. All he knew was I was Yukia Hugie in room 2, whatever. He took a chance by saying, I've left the kitchen open. And any hotel that you've been to that serve continental breakfast, y'all know that's toast, that's boiled eggs, that's cereal, that's milk, that's apple juice, that's orange juice, that's coffee. But you all also remember what makes this story even better is that when I was living in the hotel, I did not have a job. So I didn't have any money to pay for nothing. I didn't even have money to pay for the room every day, but God. He left the kitchen open and the refrigerator unlocked. Every chance I get, I tell this story in a multitude of people because sometimes people forget. I will never forget how many times God sent a raven to feed me. So now that I'm in this space of being able to, you create a platform, you created a safe space for people to talk. I'm going to be a part of that conversation because, again, if Sophie can get in her car and drive and pack up what she had in a car, and people think that is, God can do anything. For Jasmine to come out of Congress Park and be, what are y'all talking about? So because I know God to be who he is, that's what makes me who I am. So I'm going to speak with integrity, right? I'm going to speak with the truth. I'm going to stand 10 to, we're not going to dance around words because we're too old for that. We're too mature for that. We're going to say what it is and we're going to say what it ain't. And we're not going to keep sitting with a bunch of people. We're not sitting with nobody else that we know don't like us. There's no money involved because I also believe this. You can make money with a nemesis. You can, if we're a Christian, I can make money with a Muslim.
Yes. Yep.
Because people with money, they have already established a relationship. This is about money and money only. We're not doing anything personal together, but all professional because the bottom line is the dollar. So if you ain't, and most of these people who come and ain't even talking about money, they're begging. They want something from you. They're not coming to bring anything, drop anything in a bucket. They're just coming to beg, borrow, and get on your nerve. That's it. But this season is different because God is strategically putting people in our spaces, at the table, and in our lives to take us to another level, another dimension. That he's doing that.
Yeah.
Even with all hell breaking loose and y'all want to shut down TikTok and do all, God is still putting people in your life that will be I'm talking about an amazing blessing. There is no way in the world that me knowing God the way I know him, that he would take 5 people that I love deeply and that I knew loved me without question and don't give me nothing. It ain't nowhere in the world. I will
No
never,
way.
I will never sit and believe that you snatched them up out of here and you ain't gonna replace it with something that I prayed for that you knew I wanted. Nowhere in the world. There's nowhere in the world. And I stand on that. And that is why I'm able to speak with confidence about, death and about grief, because even in my personal grief, I'm learning how to. Here's the thing. We talking about the girl's power in relationships. And I can single it to myself by saying the girl's power in grief. I found so much power. I've learned how to control my grief, because here's what it'll do to you. You can wake up, you can get in your car, you can turn on the radio, and a song can come on, and you know that song will have you vulnerable. You could keep that song on if you want to, and before you know it, you have slid down a wall, you have pulled over on the side of the road, and you are a shipwreck. Or you can control that. I've learned to control it. So there are some days I can't pull over and cry on the side of the road because I got stuff I have to do. But there will be days that I might say, you know what, I'm gonna stand under the cover today and I'm gonna put the earbuds in my ear, because you got to get it out. But here's the thing, being depressed is a luxury, and I don't have that luxury. So people who are depressed all the time, they get to lay in the bed, they don't have to take a bath, and nobody questions them. Know why? I'm depressed. No, they don't got to do nothing.
Never ever. I ain't never had that.
Is a luxury.
Maybe I should have asked the Lord to depress me, because I ain't never been able to do that.
We don't have Jasmine got 2 girls. You don't have the luxury to lay in the bed. If you lay in the bed, Sage will not eat breakfast. Sage will not get to school. Sage will dress herself every single day. We don't have that luxury. And so we got.
I had to go to work 3 weeks after a C-section. I definitely don't have the luxury. I couldn't even wait 6 weeks because I had stuff to do. I don't have the luxury.
There are people in my that are. I mean, whether you're clinically depressed, the doctor said you are, you said you are, but that is, you know where I got that from? Because I gotta give him 50 Cent said that. He was in an interview. He said being depressed is a luxury. Y'all can just be depressed and nobody bothers you. You don't have to go to work. You don't even have to get a job. You don't have to be accountable. What song? Oh, she sleep. She said,
never in my life have I
none
experienced
of us can be sad.
Never.
I have to get up. David won't eat. Zuri won't eat. Dogs don't eat. We just can't. All of us have had to get up and get back to work. Not to say that we rushed it, but what we understand is there's a time for it.
Yeah.
And while I wish it can be every day, it can't.
Yeah.
So people that's diagnosed with it, let them be able to do that. But I can't.
God bless y'all.
Take that pill that man done gave you can't go about your business. That's all I got. Take that pill in the morning, go about your business. Because my grandmother won't even let me sit and lay and be depressed. If you don't get up, she said it. Her Uncle Anthony. No, you got work. You got stuff to do. You got to make us proud we're watching you from the grave. You cannot lay around the bed and do nothing. And my grandmother would tell me in a minute, don't you sit and eat, don't you gain a whole bunch of weight because your husband's going to leave you.
Jasmine, you can't told me one time. Let me tell y'all, just because y'all don't know. That girl told me if you gain 1 more pound, we're not going to be friends because you're getting fat.
Let me tell you
That's
something.
what I'm telling you. You got to get good friends because you can't be offended over you can. The wrong person would have been offended and not been friends with her. But she told me, she was like, you got one. And I remember telling one of my coworkers now that, and she was like, oh no, we could not be friends. And I told her, I said, and that's why you fat. Because your friends ain't done told you. Your friends ain't been told you.
But
I know.
That's what having good friends do, because guess what? You gonna listen to your friend and you even gonna say, okay, girl, will be like, bitch, you are you done?
And if you want to be fat, that's okay. But I done brought it to your attention. I done brought it to your attention.
That's the
and
good
I
thing
ain't
about having friends, I'm telling you.
Child.
My friends have told me I can't do, man, one time, this was recently though, I said, I'm gonna be an actor. David said, you gonna take classes? I said, why would I need to take classes? Do I need to? He said, yeah.
Jason,
but I like when my friends are honest.
Nobody's so fine and jazz, but at the
with me.
down at the ranch, I thought that I had it. He said, "No, aren't you gonna take lessons? Lessons." So that's what I would have been doing.
You woke up like Angela Bassett. You just thought that we just was talking about people like you who think you could just show up on the scene and get what people they got after they work.
Let me say something. When he said that, I wasn't even interested no more. I didn't even seek it out. I didn't even pull up castings. I just was like, you a hater too. But imagine if he wouldn't have said it. Guess what I would have been on? Casting calls for new movies. What I found out is that friendships are so important because one of us needed this chuckle and cackle tonight, right? But it's just like some people who aren't good friends, you miss out on the authenticity of friendship. Because guess what?
Oh, like the Bible says, show yourself friendly. You look like you're not friendly. No, you laugh.
Wait, I used to look like I wasn't friendly.
Listen, Jasmine, my life's just getting good. Like my life is legit, really has gotten very, very good. I don't even want you to look like your life is bad. And you want to be friends with me, like you a new person. Like I've had enough. Like we didn't have drug addict parents. Woo. We burying people before the time. We got bad kids. I got ex-husbands. I got step ex-kids. I got too much going on. We went to college late and graduated. It took us longer to get our credit right than everybody else. Like we had to do things. And so now when I'm looking at new relationships and I come into the room and you
looking dumb.
I want to be friends.
Looking at you like you should.
Like, look like you friendly. Look like you want to be a friend.
Yeah.
Look like you got something that's gonna make my life a little better. I don't want that.
But guess what? That's while they're sizing you up. While you're looking at me from head to toe or toe to head, I've also decided you won't be nothing.
Yes.
But this is gonna go no further than what it is right now. And after today, you don't got to worry about me. You do not have to worry about me after today, because guess what? Energy tells the story. Energy gonna tell on you every single time. Call it energy, call it discernment, call it the Holy Ghost, call it the Holy Spirit. It's gonna tell on you every time, especially around us.
You know, we done walked into places. We done walked into churches. We done walked into restaurants. We done walked into parties that people didn't invite us to, and we looked, and both of us knew, like,
this is gonna be a long night.
That's it.
It's gonna be a long night, because this is what I mentioned this on a podcast about 2 weeks ago. When you walk into the room magnifies. When you walk into the room gets bigger because you're in the room. And the people who are already there know something has entered and it's bigger than me. We just got to accept that there are people whose spirits are bigger than yours, whose spirit are brighter than yours. Everybody got to be honest with where they are in life. If you're the girl that know you're not a good friend, just get you some help. Don't keep trying to come around as if you're just not a good friend. If you know, I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah,
you and Jasmine chime in on people who are very good friends, they have the potential or have the potential to be good friends, but you notice that there are some qualities that may cause some rifts down the road. But you know, like they good people, they gonna be solid. How do you maneuver that kind of relationship when you're dealing with like the power of ego, the power of this can turn out to be a we friends, but we might start competing because of this person, and they're not comfortable in their power enough to know that it's more than enough power that can go around in this room. What does that look like? Do you just decide, hey, I don't even need to be friends, or do you have?
I don't want to be friends.
Yeah, I don't want to be friends either, because what I understand is that this is your character.
Mm-hmm.
This is your this is who you are. I figured it out. And I might didn't even have to figure. You showed it that this is who you are, and you've been in this body longer than I've known you. You've been in this body longer than I've known you. So this is where we ask ourselves. It's almost like, what kind of job do I want? Do I want a job doing heavy lifting, manual labor, or sitting at a desk doing administrative work? Mm-hmm. That's how we gonna handle and pick and choose these friends. Do I want to build her up? Is she gonna be receptive to me building her? Or is she gonna say, you coming in trying to change me? Because they gonna get, I don't, you know what? For me, I don't feel like it.
Yeah, me too.
I don't feel like it.
I don't feel like it.
When you got it together, almost like what you asked your fiance, Safan, you like, well, what you got? The same way how you when it's like, what you got? Basically, what do you have going on? Because listen, we have to handle them things the same way. Here's the thing. I love to watch movies, and sometimes I watch some of the same movies over and over and over again. Malcolm X had a part in the movie before he converted to being Malcolm X. He was red. He said, hey, Daddy-o, what's your angle? We have to start asking people. In other words, if I wanted to be a Christian about it, I would say, who sent you?
Yeah.
Did God send you, or did Satan send you? So because I'm gonna say, what's your angle? Like, are you here for help? Because some women will come and say, you know what? I've struggled. If they come vulnerable and very transparent by saying, I struggle with being a really good friend, but I want to be a good friend. If they come putting that on the table, then that's it. We can work. But you done came in the door with all this stuff, and I done figured it out without you telling me. I don't want to be bothered.
Me too. It's enough for me.
Because I wanted y'all to share that, because I know that people are navigating different seasons of friendship, and they don't understand that there's power in not being friends, and it's okay. Like, it doesn't make you not a good person. I'm not dumbing you down. I'm not coming in this space to talk bad about you or anything like that. That just means I have power. There's power in my choice.
Yes.
I get to choose who I'm doing life with a spouse, with a friend, with a job, like all of those things, especially if you're at an age where you can take less. Like, I don't need a bunch of current on at this point in my life. And so if you on assignment, I'm good with that. I don't want to be a part of your assignment. Let me just get on up and out of your way. But I think that oftentimes, because we have this need from different traumas, the way that we grown up, just like Jasmine said, because I thought that was very interesting that she shared, like, her mom was like, you're shy. And then you get this person that doesn't know you, didn't birth you, hasn't been around you, haven't watched you go through life, and says to you, like, I'm betting on you. I'm betting on you. So it wasn't that, our moms were bad moms or anything like that. We were never anything that they had seen before. So for them to even try to put words to it, that's the same thing with friendship. We show up to these people with these big personalities and all this boldness that we had to walk through seasons to get. We're like this now. We can walk in this thing now and come into a room and demand that our presence be stopped for. But it wasn't always like that. So when people have never seen that, they begin to ascribe to us stuff. And then we become like the difficult friend. Like you kids started off with, I've been the same friend forever. Oh, when I was weak, when I was passive, when I let you guys talk about me and trample over me and use me and all those things, then we were good friends. But when I got delivered from that season of life, and now I know my identity, and now I'm not shy. I'm a woman and I am bold. Now it's a problem. Now you uncomfortable. Now it's a challenge to be my friend. Now it's not as easy as it once was. What you gonna do?
People are, I'm gonna tell you, people are so fickle. But what we gotta make sure we gotta make sure that we're not fickle. People you come in, you think you want to be friends because you've seen me online or you've seen me do a thing, or you've seen me in my magic. But in another space, you may not see all that, because if you come and visit me at work, you ain't gonna get all that other stuff. I'm somebody else at work, right? And that's because I'm a professional at work. But when I'm over here, I'm a professional in this arena, right? So that may be two different people. But what I would say is when people show up, there are, and I've prayed for this. When people show up, there are parts of them that are going to show up. The parts that they even try to hide, going to show up so loud. That you're going to go out to a club, they're going to invite you out, or you're going to invite them out, however it goes, and y'all going to meet up. You wasn't given a dress code, but you had the audacity to show up. Look, I invited you, but you got the audacity to show up looking better than me. But you've seen me online, right? Why did you think I was going to show up any other way?
Yeah.
Why did you think I was going to show up? So, all of them things, the writing be all over the wall. We just got to see it. Sometimes we ignore it. We don't want to talk about it. We want to dance around it. But personally, I am not in the business of if we're working on something together, yes, but I'm just not in the business of, because again, that is your character. Whatever happened to you in your childhood, you just don't like other girls. Whatever happened to you in your childhood, you're just really jealous of other girls, right? Whatever happened to you, I'm gonna ask Sofan back to the stage. Whatever happened to you in whatever, you just don't like girls, whether your mother raised you that way, whether you didn't think you were pretty enough, whatever it was. But here's the thing, I'm not a therapist and I don't have time to try to dissect that. So I don't want to. That's pretty much where I am. So fine, I want you to tell this story. Jasmine, was you about to say something?
Go ahead.
So fine, I want you to tell the story. Because I think you like to tell this story. That's why I want you to tell it so I don't have to. Tell the story about the time that I threw the party. The dinner party.
Did you say tell the story about the time that you did the party? Lord have mercy. Let me tell you. I still don't know why you invited me to that party. Because, child, I was more mad than you. I don't even know what happened, but I promise you that I was more mad than you were. This was a season where...
And it was a rough... And let me set the stage. It looked like it was a really promising and good season, but it wasn't. It was horrible. The choices I made... listen, if it wasn't, that's the season I think I was supposed to die in.
It was a season that was so rough. Like it was rough even for your friends to sit back and partake of it. because it was just disgusting. To just be very, very honest about it. It was so disgusting. It was a situation where the Lord, I think he was cultivating something in you, and that is why you had to go the route in which you went. But you kid threw this party. She threw this party. It was an invitation only party. It was at like a real upscale restaurant. And one of the young ladies who had been dealing with her child's father, her youngest child's father, was one of the invitees. So you can only imagine like being her friend and showing up to this party, because you know we old school. We got grace, but we old school. We show up to something and you done did something to one of our friends, and we try and figure out like, are we going out front to fight? We going to the bathroom? Like, are we taking Louboutins off? What we doing here? Because like, what is she here for? But it was one of the most gracious acts that I have ever seen you kid display. This person knew that the gentleman was her man. And this person was very, very vocal about her knowing. And I mean, it was so upfront because we were all in a setting where we were in proximity. So outside of the party, we knew people that knew one another. So we knew about them going on dates. We knew about them showing up to church dressed alike. Child, they was dressed alike. They was dressed alike. Can you imagine like showing up to church and you know somebody has been your man and somebody else is with that man and they dressed alike? Baby, I'd have had to push the pastor over, flip the pulpit over. It would have been bad. But at this party, you kid gave gifts to everybody. And then there was a point in the dinner where she did an impartation. Like she stopped and she spoke well of every single person, including this young woman. And it's funny because the young woman went from being this person who was quote unquote just kind of throwing it in you kid's face like, this my man, I got this man. Baby, by the time, this was prior to the party, by the time the invitation made it to her, or in between that time to the dinner, that man was no longer her man no more. And she was experiencing what she had just done to Yukia. Mm-hmm. And the grace that Yukia exuded to even invite her to the party, to speak well of her, to speak into her life, and to remind her that she was God's daughter and that she was loved by God. And not only loved by God, but she could find a confidant in her as she walked through that process because it was difficult. Yukia even made the example like it wasn't even about a man, like the sisterhood of it.
Yeah.
Your sister.
Because that was
the person who's walked through the process and you've seen me. And I still get to show up as a woman of God because my integrity don't get to waver because yours does. Let me tell y'all that in friendship, you don't get to be raggedy because your friend is now raggedy. You don't get to show up and be anything because you done found out that the stuff that they were holding and keeping secret is no longer secret no more. Because then women like us, we're not watching them no more. We're watching how you to respond to the offense. We're watching what you do when a person does that to you, because we need to decide if we're going to disconnect from you and them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because but see, the point of that was I knew I wanted to free myself, right? And see, it was multiple women, whereas that was a situation where I should not have been in first, second, or third place, but we're grateful that we have, who we know now as the wonderful Zuri Dream. But I had to do that because I wanted to free myself. If that makes sense. Like I had to, and see, so Fine talked about, she singled out the young lady that was invited to the party who thought, it wasn't just you, beloved. It was you and 15 other people. And there were other people at that table that had also had dealings that I invited. They were younger than me, right? But I knew, because see, having discernment is kind of scary. Having a prophetic gift is scary because God will be showing you things and people, and you like, I wasn't ready to deal with that, but because you showed it to me, I will. That was when I freed myself up of, I'm not going to deal with you. I'm not going to deal with him. You're going to be in a space where you're going to now be in a space feeling like I was feeling. But I knew I needed God to free me from that. And that is the night that I got the freedom that I absolutely needed. And
Amen.
so I wanted that story to be told is because that is who I am. And that was years ago. I am still that girl. But that is the girl's power in relationship. I wanted out so bad. I needed God to give me a strategy on how to get out. Because here's the thing, what I want you to understand, beloved, I don't have an issue with you. I don't even have an issue with him. Let's make this all official. Let me free myself and then y'all can go. Y'all can go. And you know what? And I'm not even trying to be funny. Nobody has seen the girl since I don't know what happened. Someone says she may be somewhere sick. I am praying for her if she is. But I mean, I have not. But that is why you got to really sit back and let the Lord fight for you. Literally, you got to, and it might take some years. You got to sit back and let God fight for you. And that's why I'm saying, so fine, back to your point. I'm not building nobody that I wasn't paid to build. If you ain't come to me with an invoice and say, help me become this great, I'm not doing it. And I know you're already not my assignment. My friends are my assignment. My family's my assignment. My plate is full. I ain't taking on nothing else. Because I don't understand who you are or want to become, and surely you don't understand who I am and want to become. So we just gonna have a good working relationship. I'll call you here and there, but we're not gonna sit. We're not gonna eat, because even eating, I always say, I don't eat with.
You know we don't do that. We'll be
Eating
hungry first,
is
and we've been hungry a couple times. You know, we got example of folk that we realized was shaky, and we was like, nah. And we were hungry. This was a season where we was robbing Peter to pay Paul to keep it together, and we was like, nah, we ain't that hungry.
Oh, I ain't You gotta have when to become the kind of women that you all are. You gotta have a standard. You gotta have a standard, and you gotta have principle, and you can't be wavering back and forth. That I'm gonna do this today and maybe not tomorrow. No, you gotta, like, people using this thing standing on business. I did it. Like,
me too.
You want it ain't no.
Me too. I have always
people say it
that just
they're not standing on business. They're not standing on business.
I'm not sitting with any and everybody. Like, even at my work, I was selective with who I sat with. And I was always told, like, Jazz, you don't like nobody. You so mean. No, y'all sit with anybody.
I mean,
and you allow anybody in your space. And I've just always been like, yeah, no, it's not about being a man. I don't want everybody in my space. I ain't became who I wanted to become, but I know that it's coming, and I don't want to sit with anybody. And that was at 16, 17, 8. That was early on. I'm just not sitting with any and everybody. I even tell my friend, I don't mind sitting with my friends, but have some time with just your other friends. You don't have to invite me to every table. I don't have to be at every single table.
And I'm not offended.
I just don't have to.
Yeah,
I'm not offended. We were talking about that before the call came. Like, I'm not offended because I'm not invited. Go have fun. Go
Please,
do that.
Please go have fun.
In Jesus' name, go do that.
And I'm gonna call you and ask you how was it, and you better tell me you was good.
You ain't got to share the pictures. If I catch it on Instagram, then that's good.
Yep, I'm gonna say y'all. I'm 45, so I prefer to be at home anyway. I'm not. It takes a lot for me to say I'm going out, I'm getting dressed, jazzing with the wear. Do this look cute? Listen, I ain't been out so long. I don't even know what I am supposed to be wearing. I ain't been on it so long. I can't even find my clothes. I don't even know where they are. But we have to be, when it comes to us and who we are, we really have to write the prescription for ourselves, and that's it. Don't let nobody come and change your dosage. That is what it is. Have a standard. These are the friends I want. These are the friends I don't want. The friends I had before, you cannot spin the bin. It's a reason why you left or fell off or we just didn't work. And guess what? I'm not gonna trash you that it didn't work. It didn't work. Because at one point you were my friend. At one point you were my good
Yeah.
friend. It just didn't work. So and people grow apart.
That's right.
People grow apart.
No explanation, nothing messy. That's just what it is. That's just what it is.
People are seasonal.
They are seasonal.
Everybody.
Some seasons might last 20 years. Don't mean it wasn't a season though. Don't mean, and be careful. Like, be careful when you have those relationships that have been tested and they've been tried and they've been proven. When you letting other folk come in, you can't mix every friend. Every friend can't be mixed. Man, you had a situation one time, and Lord, if we ain't had as much sense as we had, we would not be friends. I'm telling you. And when by the time we was like in the thick of it, we couldn't do nothing but laugh. But if we weren't mature enough to know, like, stand on business about the relationships that you know been solid. While we doing all of this standing on business, if people have shown up for you and have been integral and they haven't wavered and they haven't given you a reason to believe that they're not who they say that they are, stand on business about them friends. One of the things that I share with people, if you are in my close circle of people, you kids like in my top 5. My top 5 people, I let people know when people come and try to bring me stuff and say, oh, you know, this person said that. They're my friends. They have the right to talk about me. I don't even want to hear what they said. I'm cutting it off before you tell me something that's going to offend me, make me feel different about people that I love. If they are my friends, I am sure, I trust and believe that they said it in a context that had nothing to do with hurting me or diminishing me. So whatever it is that you're trying to do, let's just kill that right now. Do that for your friends, because there are some people that are not disposable. They not making Jasmines and SoFines and you kids no more. They just not. And I know everybody believe like their friends are the very best of friends. Child, look on TikTok, look on Instagram. People that's been friends 30 years.
They getting left for dead. They getting left for dead.
The kids can't even speak no more. And they got kids that's God, sisters, and siblings, and they can't even speak no more because it's that bad. Like, stand on business with that. Talk it out with people, ask people, have very candid conversations, and tell somebody when they hurt your feelings. Like, you know, I felt some kind of way when you said that. So somebody can have the opportunity to say, well, dang, I didn't even mean it like that. But if that's how you took it, I'm apologizing for that because I've offended you. You're my friend enough that I'm apologize. Although that wasn't the context in which I meant it, we're not even dealing with what I meant it as. You're hurt. You're my friend. I apologize. Be big enough to apologize. People are not, I'm telling y'all, people are coming up off this earth quicker. They not even being 40 and 50 no more. Reconcile with people who are worth it. If they ain't worth it, child, wipe the dust from your feet. Don't spend no time on something that's not worth it. But for people that are your people, like, do all the things to ensure that those relationships continue on and can withstand the test of time. There's power in friendships. I could not have gone through that season of my life without a Ukia. I could not have gone through that. She knows intimate details, and I've never heard those things. And I needed to be able to be my whole full self in that season so that I can become the person that I am today. So while she's not right in Dallas, privy to it and witnessing it, she's safe in knowing that I'm all right.
Yeah.
Like, protect that. That stuff is very, very precious. We got to stop getting rid of folk for real. We getting rid of the wrong people. One of the things that I gauge with when people say about friendship, and my friendships with church and my friendships with people, how you get to stay at the church? The same way I stayed with a man for 20 years that I knew one mind. That's how much standing on business I am about my friends that I know are my friends. Stand on business like you standing on that man. You know he ain't never been no good. He ain't gonna never get no good. At least your friends be showing up. At least you can get them on the phone if you need them. You can get a ride if you need a ride. You can lay on their couch if you need to lay on their couch. You can split a sandwich or something. You can't even get him on the phone. And you standing, I mean, fighting folk you don't even know. Going on Instagram, looking through pages, making yourself sick. But when it comes to one of your girlfriends, it's like, oh, I done enough with her. Like we good.
You can call the girlfriends up for a quick Apple Pay, quick cash app. He ain't responding to nothing.
Baby ain't responding to a thing. Ain't responding to a thing. Like, weigh that seriously. If I haven't said anything else, weigh your friendships and really be mindful of how you treat people that love you.
Yep.
For real.
I'm so grateful for this conversation on tonight. What I always like to do is after each show, I always just kind of unwind, but I always go back and watch. And then what the Speak Well podcast have, we have a lot of people who go back and watch the replays because, you know, people are working. I mean, sometimes people just go back to see if they missed anything, but I'm just grateful for a space where I'm able to share a screen. I'm just grateful to be able to share because these conversations are so necessary. And how I wanted it to go is just like every realm goes higher because I wanted to have conversations that people are not having. Hold your supervisors accountable. You may not be able to go and approach her and say, you saw my resume. I was the best candidate. Now that I'm performing at a high level, you're intimidated. You may not be able to say that, but when you check out and when you leave, make sure you go back and say, but girlfriend, the way that you did, because we have to let people know that you did this and it wasn't right. And I don't want you spewing this on another person because the other person might come, may not be as strong as me, or the other person might come and might be stronger than me and knock you down. Even friendships, you know, I was good enough when you saw me on Speak Well podcast with Jasmine and UK and So Fine, you heard me speak and you're saying she's so well spoken. So you've hired me to do a thing that is bi-weekly. But now I got more followers than you. Now you don't even show up. Because that's what they do. So pay attention to the people that you allow. And this is to those watching. And I appreciate every last one of you. I appreciate your feedback. You're in the comments. I love that because it lets me know that people are listening and you're engaged. But be intentional about handpicking your friends and be intentional about being honest with them about where you are. If this is a bad season for you, let them know that. Because sometimes your friends are requiring stuff from you that you may not be able to give because it's a bad season. And I may be able to help you get out of that season. But there are some moments where it's just between you and God. We understand that too. Don't take advantage of the presence of your friends. When I was losing, I didn't want to be by myself. I knew that I had my husband with me. But if I didn't, I would just go and sit at Keisha's, just sit on the floor. And she would be working. But guess what I knew? She was present. She didn't have to say nothing, do nothing, because that is what you need. There are some friends you need to be present. We gave James a cookout, and me, Jasmine, and Keisha, and Quinn, and that we was just outside because my mother, she wanted the cookouts were for her. The week that he died in, she had a lot of cookouts because that was what Priscilla needed for comfort. But I remember James loved the whisper, so I was just over there. I went from literally laughing, listen to the whispers, to crying, but my tears were silent. It wasn't like a boo-hoo. And it was dark, but Jasmine saw me and she walked over. She was present, right? And then after that, we got back up and started dancing again because your friends are going through stuff too. Your friends are human. They're single moms. They're single women. They're engaged women. So if I had to go to Dallas and find her way, she had to go to Dallas and find friends. I'm in an unfamiliar face. I'm in an unfamiliar place and space. I don't even know what to do. I don't know if when I get this new apartment, is the maintenance man gonna come in here? If they're gonna stop? You just don't know because you stepped out on faith and said, God, I'm going to do a thing, and I don't even know what I'm doing, but just make sure you go with me.
Amen.
We've all had to be in them places where I know I got to do this because this is going to make for something. I know I got to go through this because this is going to make for something. I said to my coworker today, she was responsible for writing my very first book. And we were talking about grief. And while we were talking, she was like, "You're so caught up in the moment. I wish you had a tape recorder to record yourself." Because what I said to her was, I wonder why, and this is this in this season, I am asking God for direction with this. And I'm asking God to give me an answer. God, why did you allow me to go behind the veil? Why did you allow me to have this acquaintance with the death angel? And I'm saying all that to say, with every person that I mentioned that passed within 2 years, with the exception of my cousin AJ, we had a conversation days before passing or the day of your passing. So for me, I'm not a doctor. I don't work in the OR, right? So I don't do doctors. I've seen a lot of death with federal agency and working with families, right? Because I'm in the but God, why did you allow me to be behind the veil? Why did you allow me to stand between my loved one and the death angel? Why did you allow me to be there? Before my grandma, because see, what I found out about death is the day that your loved one transition ain't the day they transition. They be gone on. They're just in that, they're in that shell in them last days. Days before that they have already transitioned. And I really want to know, because I gotta write about it. Because that's a big part of my story. Why did you allow me to rush down South Carolina, sit with Uncle Anthony, talk to him? I was close enough to talk to all of them within a span of 2 years to find out what their last wishes were. Why did you allow that to be me? Because you know what? That's a privilege. Because my glass always half full, never half empty. It's a privilege for me to have conversed. It was a privilege for me to read the prayer of salvation with James. It was a privilege for me to be with my mother being outside. It was a privilege for me, not her, to be in the room when he transitioned. That's a privilege. It was a privilege for me to see grandma weeks before, 2 weeks before she passed, to look at her and say, "Oh, I got to get grandma ready." But I'm not saying it out loud. I'm saying it to me. I got to polish grandma nails so she can be ready, because God said to me, this will be your last time seeing her on this side. God, you love me that much that you prepared me. See, everybody else is still struggling with the fact. I'm not struggling with the fact, but why? And it ain't surface. Somebody say, "Oh, well, you know, you caught." That's why, and I said this on the public platform, but it's bigger. "Oh, you know, you're a preacher." No. It's bigger than even that. What kind of relationship I must have with God for you to have allowed me to sit and see and be okay with it, and not be selfish and say, "Oh, why you left me here by myself? Because I didn't want you here." All I'm saying, you ain't changing my pamper. So, and I said all that to say that there are people who watching, including us, that there are things that happen. There's a time, life is like a vapor, right? It's short, but there's a thing that happens while life is happening, and it's a thing that take place, and we're supposed to do something with it. I heard somebody say the other day, when you spend a lot of time in prison and you survive that, you got to monetize off of that, because how did you survive that? Do I monetize off my acquaintance with the death angel? Because that's what I said I would call the book if I wrote it. If I wrote a memoir, I don't know anybody that can say, "Oh, I lost 5 family members and I was there every time." I was able to have a conversation. I knew every last one of their wishes, every last one of them. And I prepared them all the way to the grave with strength and with the thing so fine I keep mentioning is grace. But there's a reason for that. So we got to learn to stop and say, I didn't just make it out on broken pieces for nothing. Should I talk about it? Should I write about it? Should it be a movie? Should it be? It's something big that is supposed to bring us a revenue, because God don't waste pain. God don't waste pain. So this was a conversation I had today, and I'm expecting God to tell me what do I do? Because here's the thing, my family, y'all, they it's not for me to go and try to explain to them about grief. No, y'all have to get a therapist on your own and see, because everybody grief is case by case, right? It's not one size fit all. Mine, I'm stronger in knowing that they're on the other side. So we just got to know what if I don't know what the reason is, what am I to do with this? That's right, nothing wasted. And that's how we got to start thinking. The good, the bad, the ugly, those who left, those who walked out, those who died, those who stole, those who conspired, public humiliation, public embarrassment, the abortion. I wanted to get pregnant and I didn't. I got pregnant. All of that stuff. Monetize, because that's a word that we're using now in social. Monetize off of that, capitalize off of that, because what I know, when you speak your story and somebody pick up a book and read it, no, listen, you're gonna pay for this one. You're gonna have to pay for this one. Even if you've heard the story before, I'm gonna make you pay for it if I tell it the 50th time. And that's what we got to do as women, the girls' power in relationship, because I got so many more testimonies and so many more moments of saying, oh, I remember when God, I remember how God, and I'm talking about, he done did some. Woo. That is what I love about God, because once he does not change. If you're the girl that he chooses to bless at the 12th hour, you're going to be the girl that he bless at the 12th hour.
That's it.
You and God, you don't gotta go back and forth. You don't gotta go back and forth. If you're the girl that God blesses, and if you're the girl that step out the house, that don't have money to eat, but you ride through Chipotle and Chick-fil-A, digging in the tank, digging in the
and they forget to charge you.
They forget to charge you, or the person in front of you pay for it.
I done got to the window and ain't had no money and said it. And Chick-fil-A fed me.
See?
Chick-fil-A and District Heights fed me, honey. So did.
That is what God looks like.
And be honest. There's power in honesty.
There's
power in honesty. We live in these lives. We buying these fake bags and accessories. And we got people believing that things are one way when they ain't. So when it's time to give you some help, we don't know if you coming or going because you didn't put up this facade. Be honest.
Be honest.
I don't care that you see me pulling up in no Mercedes when I went. This car that it's in repo. It's in repo, and I'm
hiding this car. This car, I shouldn't even be out driving
this car right now. I shouldn't even be at Chick-fil-A because the people that's looking for it might be here too. But I'm hungry. Like, it's power, and it's okay to be honest. We get it. Everybody getting it right now. Everybody becoming millionaires overnight. We understand, sis, but we don't even know how to help you because you online, you flossing. Your life look like just as good as ours. So when you say help, we like, well, what?
Well, what?
And you think we being shady? No, we really want to know because we just was. I just saw you do a whole live with the girls, and y'all had Chanel bags. The new season.
The Chanel bag.
What you need help with? And it's power and honesty.
You gotta be honest.
Be honest about who you are.
And
let us
social
help who you are.
Has showed us that honesty works. Our girl Risa Tisa gave y'all 51 parts, and sis have just signed with one of the largest casting agencies in the world.
If I had known people was getting all of that, I would have told all of us to come together and let's tell 1,267 parts. Because we got it.
Guess
Baby,
what I told him?
I can tell you how I was at. I was at Christmas and a woman showed up at my house, and my husband at the time let her write on and talking about this is how we doing Christmas with his other woman. Like, I want some parts. If you want me to show you, I've been with a man for almost 20 years, and we started out. He ain't had no kids. By the time we got divorced, he had 5, and I never bore a child. But see, you can't want to tell your story and be on a platform and look like you got it all together. You got to make up what you want to do because the girls is confused. Tisa came on, pulling out her makeup, doing her makeup, and she came out saying, who the F did I marry? She ain't say, I didn't know. This is what, yeah. Like, we don't know how to help you. We don't know how to support you, sis, because you got it all together.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And I've been that girl, so I know. I had one of my old former boyfriends tell me, you know VU. When he asked me, I was so ashamed one day. I had a brand new Chanel bag and he wanted to know how much that bag was. That's before they went up this last time. And it was $5,000 something. And he said, if you ain't got that in your account, you shouldn't have bought that bag. You calling me, asking me for gas money. You know he reads you for filth. Yeah. That man helped me get my life together. I tell you, I got my credit and stuff right after that. Because he was real. And that's just what it is. But that's what we got to be to each other. We got to be honest.
When you got seasoned friends, male or female, almost like Grandma Jazz, expect them to... where you go? You look terrible. Expect them to say, and what? Listen, that is why we need them. And while it didn't work, he was what she needed in that season.
Yep, he sure was one of the best friends I have, because he sure gonna tell you. And guess what? He's not telling you, and we have to get it. Our friends are not telling you. You don't have Jasmines and Sophines and you kids that are telling you stuff from a place of hating. We're telling you from a place that we've gotten over on the other side, and we was doing this and it ain't working. We see you doing the same thing. Sis, I'm telling you, you ain't gotta do it. That's the hardest thing, getting people to see you from where you were as you try to share with them where you were, because you right here, right now. I'm an executive level government employee now, but I was a clerk first. Was a clerk making 30 grand. But we don't be honest, so we think that everybody just got it. We think that Jasmine just woke up and had a boutique. Because that's how Jasmine came out on Instagram. We don't see, we know you got your body done, girl. The people like just don't want to be honest no more. We get rid of all the pictures, delete everything so people can't see,
and tell them you've been in the gym.
Y'all be listening. Listen, if my man ain't love my body, I would be getting me some work done, and I probably would have y'all getting video from the table. Because what you ain't gonna ever do is tell a story that I ain't been told.
We're gonna talk, but see, but again, you said something right there that we can really end on. One thing you're gonna get from the girls here, you're gonna get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you ain't gonna get nothing else, because guess what? I'm not gonna be nobody else. I ain't gonna play. I don't have to play big. I am big. I'm big. I'm not gonna do none of that. You already know. You know why? Because you sat long enough and you watched each one of our progression.
Amen.
My friend has an organization called From Pain to Purpose to Power.
That's right. I like that.
That's the timeline. Like, that is literally the timeline.
I like
y'all
that.
Watched it, and y'all was trying to take a page out the book, but you couldn't. You know why you couldn't take a page out the book? Because those were the shoes that we had to fill. Those were the shoes. Because there's some pages out of a book you can take. Everything that we've gone through was specific to us. You would not have survived. You would not have survived mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, nor financially. Go out there and get you a $5,000 bag like Sophine did. You'll be out in the street.
Yep. And you can't come stay with me, because I told y'all when y'all got them Beyonce tickets and then asked me for money, and I didn't even go see her. Nope. It wasn't in my budget, and I make more money than you. So how you went? And then I'm gonna tell you, send me a little money. Not me.
You
I ain't
have
got no money
to.
for that.
What I know, you gotta pay. You have to play in your own playground. If that ain't you, here's the thing: you get a little extra money, or it's but don't be on this thing playing big that you went and we did this, that, and the other. But you're over here asking me for the cash out for the. Because I don't get to see you if I know you honest with me, girl. What you need, girl? Because I want your experience to be a good one. But what you have done the whole 30 days up into the show, you've stunned it and you've played big the whole
The entire 30 days from sun up to sundown.
month, and we are sick and tired of
Baby,
it.
I thought you was a part of Beyonce's show. The money you was racking up.
No, we're just not doing that. But I think as we are, coming to a close of the show, we've been on for about 2 hours now. This was so therapeutic.
Oh, Jesus.
This was healing for me, being able to talk, being able to get it out, being able to share, but also most importantly, being able to inspire somebody else, being able to remind somebody else that your story is your story. Your struggle is your struggle, but you can definitely come out of it. To also remind people that there's still good people in the earth. There's still good women and men in the earth. But also to remind you, don't take T for fever. I don't care how or who you think you are. Don't take T for fever, because when you start allowing people to do whatever they want to do with you, like Sophia said, we're not this. You don't get the chance to pull me in. You don't get the chance to dangle with me. You're either in this with me or you're not. And I am okay if you choose that you're not. I am okay that you choose to not be. But again, be careful with the people that have saw what you can do, saw you do it, and when you've started to do it better than them, they're upset. They're upset with your dreams. They're upset. There is a scripture, and I'm definitely gonna close with this. Joseph was his father's favorite. See, this is who you are. Joseph was his father's favorite. Joseph had brothers. Joseph, there is okay to have a favorite. Parents don't want to tell you if you're the favorite or not, but there's a such thing as being the favorite.
I'm the favorite. I know.
Joseph had a brother, had brothers. He had a dream that he was going to rule over his brothers. It was only a dream. This is where you get nothing new under the sun. He had a dream that he would rule over his brothers. He woke up and told his brothers the dream. The Bible says that they hated him more. They already hated Joseph because he was a favorite. But now you done had a dream that you saw you gonna be in charge of us and you gonna tell us what to do. Now we hate you even more. So don't be alarmed when people start shifting who they were and who they are and who they were in your life. Don't be alarmed. Be aware. Don't be alarmed because it's gonna happen. Don't be alarmed. Be aware. Joseph got the coat with the many colors. Joseph was the one that ruled over his brothers. Joseph got the palace. Joseph was the man. But he tried to prepare him. I told y'all who I was going to be. Y'all went off and came back and gave daddy a piece of the coat, told daddy I was dead. I wasn't even dead. Y'all tried to kill me off. Y'all tried to assassinate me and my character and try to send the father to an early grave by telling him, oh, Joseph dead. See, get into that Bible. Because listen, where you are, that thing gonna speak. It's gonna help you understand why people are like they are to you when you chosen. And only the chosen people understand the seat. If you all don't have anything else, I don't have anything else, because I know we can go on and on and on. But I feel like once you hit a point, you got to leave it there and drop it and let people figure out how it's going to work for them, because it's a real thing. They are in love with your future. They're in love with who you're going to be. They are attracted to everything that they saw. but the same thing that attracted them will be the same thing that turned them off. I don't know.
Thank you for inviting us, you Lord.
Thank you for coming. We got to do it again.
Thank
I'm always open to having a conversation about anything. If you want to do some impromptus, it doesn't have to be on a Thursday. It don't got to be at 8 o'clock. But I understand that I want to create a space for women where we can come and talk. I want somebody to come on and interview me, because
I
here's the
was
thing.
just about to say, I got my list of questions for you.
Yeah, you should do that.
I've been working on them.
People want to know. There are people who genuinely want to know, who are you? Tell me more. Not because I want to shade you, or because I really just want to know, because I'm in a space that I'm trying to get out, or I'm in a space where I'm trying to go, and I think you can help me. And so that's why it's always important. So, and Jasmine, since you're creating the questions and you come up with the date, I'll come. I get on my Zoom, and I say all that to say I know how to make Canva flyers because I've been on my Zoom. You got to get on your Zoom. You got it. So you pick up, you come up with the date, and I'll do the flyer, and I'll let we'll kind of go like that. But this for me was good. So Finance on a different time zone. So I'm grateful that she was able to pop in and show up. But this was good for me. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for staying 2 hours. You can always go back and watch it at Speak Well Podcast on YouTube, like I'm going to do. I always just watch because I'm my biggest critic, because I always like to know what's up with the lights. We're changing this out because we have the reflection here. So we're just making all of these different changes so it can be what I want it to be, because I'm big on the aesthetic. Because what the girls will come and say, girl, she doing a podcast and it's right. They do all that. At least I stepped out to do the podcast. Meanwhile, you're still trying to figure it out. So with that being said, girls, I am gone. I love you all. I appreciate you all. And let's do this again soon.
Love y'all. Good night.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.